I don't know how he got there. I don't remember if he was there when I set up or if he went in there afterwards. But Axe stood up from behind this rock that I had posted up on. I almost shot him. He walked right past me. Wasn't firing his weapon. He didn't even have a mag in the well. He sat down Indian style, leaned against my right hip. The ground was on fire right here. I remember that, how hot it was. And I was elbowing him, saying, man, you got to fight. And this is the first thing he said other than tactical verbiage. He was like, I'm sorry, man. I can't help you anymore. He's like, I'm blind. He's like, they shot me in the face. And I turned around, I looked down, and like this thing shot him right here. And I've studied combat. I'm not a doctor, but I've studied combat medicine for a long, long time. And I don't know how he was alive. I don't know how he was talking to me. The only thing that I could make out that was human on his face was his bottom lip. And I was like, just get out of here. I was like, just leave. Start going, I'll give you cover. I turned around to get some cover fire, and I got up, and Mikey was above me on this boulder. Out in the open, in the middle of the draw, no cover, no nothing, didn't have his weapon up. He had our satellite phone out. I forgot he had that. And you can see him talking. He took 2 rounds to the chest and spun him like this. He hit the ground, used his rifle, he sat back up, and they shot him in the back. He sat back up again, finally finished the phone call. Well, this bothered me to no end. I wasn't going to lose another one. So I tried to make my way up to him. I just couldn't get up there. And I was underneath him, I slung my rifle, I stood out in the open, I was waving my hands. It was so loud, he couldn't hear me, but I was just like, please, just come down here to me, man, I'll carry you out of here. I was like, if you just get to me, bro, and I'll get us out of here, I swear. And he didn't see me. He went left behind his rock embankment. And then there was a massive amount of gunfire that went into that hole he was in. And I could hear his weapon go off and make 2 distinct the sound was completely different. And then he started screaming for help. And I mean, my fingers were bleeding. I had completely shredded my glove. My fingers were bleeding trying to claw up those rocks to get to him. And I was leaning against this rock, sitting on my boots trying to load my weapon while he was screaming for help. And then he started screaming my name. He was like, Marcus, you got to help me. I need help. And it got louder and louder. And he started screaming my name. It was so terrible. I've never heard anything scream like that. Man, beast, woman. I've never heard anything like that. Over all that gunfire and artillery. And it was so terrible that I actually set my rifle down on my knees and covered my ears. Because I couldn't stand to hear him die. You know, that makes me a coward. I put my weapon down in a gunfight. That's a coward's act. They say every man has his breaking point in our community, and what we do, the only way you're going to break us is to kill us. But I broke right there. I snapped. I just couldn't stand to hear him die. But they killed him. The screaming stopped. I got shot out of there. By this time, they had moved up from the village, so they had us in a 360-degree tent. No matter where we were or where we set up, they had a line of sight on us. I caught up with Axe, this rock overhang with 2 logs leaning against it, just stream running around, some gravel and whatnot. I crawled underneath there, I sat down on my knees, I was looking at him, he'd taken abdominal dressing, pulled his face back together. I was trying to fix it, and I was looking at him, I was like, we're going to die right now. We're going to effing die. And I made my peace with God a long time ago about dying. I mean, we understand when we go out there, but we've already signed our name on that check. It's just a matter of when they cash it. But we don't ever know that. And when you do that, it gives you the ability to fight like you wouldn't believe. Eliminate doubt, eliminate fear. But it's a weird feeling when you know you're about to die, when the Reaper's at the door. Normally we don't know. I was like, we're going to die. And an RPG hit. And it was like a white light. That's all I remember. And then the frag from the water, tree bark, rocks, all that stuff came in there. And it was behind him and blew him on top of me. And when I set up, pushed him off of me, another one hit and blew us out of there. Blew him one way, blew me another. I never saw him again for the rest of my life. I came to, I was laid upside down on this rock. I was paralyzed from the waist down. I had 11 through and throughs in my lower body and shot. Frag hanging out everywhere. My back was broken in multiple places. My shoulder, my maximum facial damage. I mean, I could keep going, but whatever. All my kit, all my gear, my med gear, my mask, my GPS, my pants, everything was completely shredded and torn off me. I just rolled over, put my rifle in the creases of my elbows and started spiking them into the ground, and I started pulling myself. And every time I crawled past some sand, I would take sand and dirt and stick it into my legs where I was bleeding really bad to clot that up. And I crawled into this little ravine and buried myself under a bunch of rocks in a shallow grave. And I didn't move 1 inch for the rest of the day. Not 1 inch. And they were walking over top of me. I mean, I could literally, the rocks falling on my head, I could smell them. They were right above me. They knew they were missing one. They came down off the ridge. I could hear them celebrating and doing to our bodies what they do to us when they get their hands on us. That was going on right around the corner. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't move. I had to sit there and listen to them torture my friends. And in my head, I knew that they were dead, but you start second guessing, well, maybe why are they celebrating? So, whatever, I don't want to get into that. As the sun was going down, I could feel my feet. Trying to stand up. Before I did, I cleared my area. And there was something glistening in the distance. I got up with my scope. There was a guy leaning against a rock. He had a silver AK. I took 2 shots at him and missed him. The third one, I hit him in the belly. He fell. And 2 more guys came running over. I didn't see them either. They came over and hit on my side of the rock. I had a suppressor on my weapon. I was dug in. They had no idea where it came from. So they actually hit him the same exact spot that guy was in. Facing the same direction I was. I shot those 2 guys in the back. You're not supposed to shoot people in the back, but I had a bad day, so